Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kitsune Readings, where your questions find answers.
Soon as I eat that power block, you guys are finished!
Drop Atari Pac Man into your Atari video computer system, and you're playing the hottest game since Space Invaders, Atari Pac Man.
I got Pac Man fever. It's driving me crazy. Pac Man fever. I'm going out of my
Hate to eat and run!
Pac Man by Atari.
Hello, everyone. Ryu here. Today we're going to talk about Pac Man on the Atari 2600. This game actually was a huge commercial success. It sold a lot of copies. Now, this game in particular was a commercial monster. It sold over 8 million copies. Best-selling Atari 2600 game until it was beat out by Super Mario Bros. Now that would be the original Super Mario Brothers, not the one we're most commonly familiar with on the Nintendo. The original toaster oven Nintendo, I should say. This was programmed by 26-year-old Todd Fry and 6 months of 80-hour weeks. He had no arcade blueprints. He just basically looked at it, got a basic idea of how the game ran, and then made the game, which is pretty damned incredible, honestly. Now, in the beginning, we played the Atari commercial from JCPenney. The Atari commercial from JCPenney that I showed you was actually the very first ad ever made on television for video games. And it's actually pretty interesting. The ghosts flicker a lot, game looks terrible, but was a commercial success nonetheless. Pac-Man's popularity was huge. And Fry, he scored 10 cents royalty per copy, which made him a millionaire because of how many copies Pac-Man sold. Man, people loved Pac-Man. In fact, people still love Pac-Man and still play it today. This is what it looked like on an early home video game console, in this case, the Atari 2600. And it spawned better games, too. Like, the Miss Pac-Man port was apparently way better. The original box art was deemed too scary and was rejected, so they had it redone. The game says it has like 8 games, but it actually only has 6. You can get retro merch of this from Bandai, apparently. True. Bandai Namco is the owner of Pac-Man, of course. The IP. The commercial I showed you is public domain, by the way. There's a whole internet archive, apparently, of old TV commercials, and I found the original commercial so I could share it with you. Now, JCPenney had a thing where you purchased a Pac-Man video game and any other Atari game cartridge, and you get a free Pac-Man t-shirt to go along with your purchase. Peak 1980s marketing, am I right? But anyway, let's play Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. Now, I loved Pac-Man, and I also had Pac-Man for the Commodore 64. The stock sound bites for this were said to be pretty terrible. Oh yeah, look at that. Eat the ghosts. You get a power pellet, you can eat the ghosts. They don't spend any time in the box, they just like pop out of the box right away. Oh, buddy. It's hard to believe, like, how amazingly popular Pac Man was. Whoa, they got me. But Pac Man was one of the largest, most successful video games of its day. I myself spent many, many hours and quarters playing Pac Man. The ghosts in the Atari version are all pretty much the same color. There's a vitamin as we don't have fruits in the Atari version. Wait, like in the corner. Oh, look at that. The ghost just come to me. Oh, yeah. Come here, ghost. Yeah, take that. Alright, level 2. I think the ghosts are supposed to get faster. But, the reason why the ghosts are all pretty much the same color and don't have any real personalities like the arcade version did is home console technology at the time this was made was very, very limited. And so this is what early games looked like on a home console. And I'm glad I get to share this with you. It gives you a great look at the 1980s, what home console games looked like back in yesteryear, before we had all the epicness of today with our legendary Unreal Engine and 3D graphics. Still just as fun to play now as it was then. Well, actually, it appears the ghosts are slightly different colors. It's just hard to tell. Such was the joy of gaming in the 80s. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Oh, now the ghosts. Oh, I was gonna say, they're all like a bright yellow color when they're combined together. Oop, they got me. Oh, but I had an extra life. I don't think this game is too bad for what it is. And I would have loved to have gotten that free t-shirt in the 1980s. So I totally ate that pellet and it's still there. What a glitch. A lot of games on the Atari were notorious for having small glitches. And this is really, really good, actually. Considering the short amount of time the guy, Fry, had to make this. Kind of reminds me of Fry from Futurama. With the time constraint, I think he did very well, personally. I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch Atari Anniversary Collection. And I'm glad they released this collection because it's a good way to experience things like this, which you wouldn't otherwise get to experience without using some kind of emulator. Whoa, I got wrecked. Fantastic game. Hard to believe how long ago these things came out. It's fun to look at this today to see what games of then looked like compared to what we have now. Pac Man also had his own cartoon series, by the way. That came out in the 1980s as well. There was also a Pac Man breakfast cereal as well, which is pretty fascinating. We also had Super Mario Brothers and Zelda cereal and all that. Oh, whoops, I wasn't paying attention. So anyway, the ghosts had names like Pinky and Blinky, Clyde, and they would introduce themselves in the arcade version. I remember seeing that. I don't remember if that was part of its initial release, but I remember that happened. The Pac Man series, the cartoon series, ran from 1982 to 1983. It was made by Hanna-Barbera and had 44 episodes. They were about 11 to 12 minutes in segments. And then they had Rubik the Amazing Cube in 1983. It was developed by Jeffrey Scott, and it features their famous Pac Man theme song in there as well. They had Pac Man himself, of course, Pepper, Miss Pac Man, the Pac Baby, their Pac Dog, Chomp Chomp, Sourpuss, who was Pac Man's cat, their Pac Cat, and the Ghost Monsters, Blinky and Pinky, Inky, Clyde, and Sue. And season 2 was Super Pac. Apparently, you could watch it for free on Tubi if you're curious about it. But, yeah, that was the Pac Man animated cartoon series. There's no, like, music to it or anything, which is interesting. But this is Pac Man on the Atari 2600. Fun game. A lot to remember. And I think that if you get the Atari collection, this is pretty fun to play. I'm glad I got to share it with all of you. That's all the time we have for today. I love you all. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate every single one of you. You can and you will achieve your dreams, my friends. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you all again very soon.